Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. When Jon Stewart took the helm of The Daily Show again in 2025, fans knew to expect sharp wit, blistering satire, and a no-holds-barred take on the political circus. But this week, the legendary comedian found himself addressing one of the more bizarre and uncomfortable viral rumors making the rounds: claims that former President Donald Trump had died. The internet, as it often does, had erupted with speculation after false reports began circulating on social media platforms, sparking hashtags, memes, and endless conspiracy theories. Stewart, never one to shy away from deflating hysteria with humor, used his Daily Show monologue to set the record straight, while delivering a biting critique of our modern information ecosystem. News of Donald Trump's death has been greatly exaggerated, Stewart quipped, borrowing and updating the famous line attributed to Mark Twain. Although, if you ask his legal team, his campaign donors, or his cardiologist, they may beg to differ. The studio audience roared with laughter, both at the absurdity of the rumor itself and Stewart's effortless ability to spin chaos into comedy. The rumor that wouldn't die. The Trump death hoax didn't emerge from thin air. As Stewart explained, the story was a perfect storm of internet misinformation. It reportedly began with a single unverified post on X, formerly Twitter, claiming that the 45th president had collapsed at his Florida estate. Within minutes, the post was screenshotted, reposted, and amplified by partisan accounts and anonymous users. Before long, TikTok was flooded with videos claiming breaking news, and YouTube channels uploaded fake tribute compilations. By the time the fact-checkers showed up, the internet had already buried him, Stewart joked. He wasn't even cold yet, and by cold, I mean his KFC bucket had just come out of the fridge. Of course, Trump himself was very much alive, continuing to appear at rallies, send out fundraising emails, and call into friendly media outlets. Still, the damage was done. The rumor trended worldwide, with some people genuinely convinced of its truth. This wasn't the first time Trump, or any major political figure, had been the subject of such rumors. But Stewart seized the moment to highlight what it revealed about society's relationship with truth. Stewart's satirical spin. Stewart didn't just mock the rumor, he turned it into a broader critique of media culture. He compared the false Trump death to the infamous "Paul McCartney is dead" conspiracy theory of the 1960s, saying, "Back then, people had to play Beatles records backwards to find hidden messages. Now, you just scroll for 30 seconds, and your uncle is texting you an obituary from a Facebook page called Eagle Patriots 1776 God Bless America.net. Progress. He also skewered the speed at which misinformation travels compared to legitimate news. Imagine if people cared this much about, say, climate change or healthcare. If only lies about insulin prices or sea levels could trend as fast as a fake Trump obituary. At one point, Stewart mockingly addressed Trump directly. Mr. President, if you're watching, and we know you are because your TV is permanently stuck on the news, you're alive. You're fine. Please stop tweeting in all caps to prove it. Just take a selfie holding today's New York Post. Or better yet, just show us the McDonald's order receipt with today's date." The audience reaction. The Daily Show crowd was in stitches, but beneath the laughter, Stewart's message was sobering. The fake news of Trump's death was a symptom of something deeper: the erosion of trust in journalism and the rise of information chaos. "People don't even wait for confirmation anymore," Stewart said. "The first rule of journalism used to be, get it right. Now it's just, get it viral. Accuracy is optional, like vegetables at Mar-a-Lago." The audience's laughter turned into applause as Stewart shifted gears, emphasizing how dangerous unchecked misinformation can be, not just for political reputations but for democracy itself. Trump's own response. Adding fuel to the comedy fire, Trump reportedly addressed the rumors himself in a characteristically bombastic way. He called into a conservative radio show, insisting, "The fake news media is saying I'm dead. I'm not dead. Nobody's ever been less dead than me, believe me." Stewart pounced on the quote. Less dead. What does that even mean? Is there a spectrum? Like, on one end you've got Keith Richards, and on the other, Weekend at Bernie's. The crowd erupted again. Stewart suggested that Trump almost seemed jealous of the rumor because it gave him even more attention. He loves being the center of conversations so much that if he ever does actually pass away, he'll find a way to tweet about it from the grave. Probably something like, "Rip me. Most attended funeral in history. Biden's funerals, very low energy, sad. A reflection on truth and mortality." But Stewart wasn't all jokes. He closed the segment with a surprisingly thoughtful reflection on mortality and truth in the public sphere. We joke about this because it's absurd. But behind the absurdity is a sad reality. We live in a time when people are more likely to believe a meme than a medical report. We've gotten so used to being lied to that the idea of a former president dying feels plausible even when he's very much alive. That's where we are. And it's not just Trump, it's all of us. We need to be better at telling the difference between fact and fiction, because one day, the story will be real. And when that day comes, it would be nice to know we can trust the obituary. The audience gave a standing ovation, not just for the laughs, but for Stewart's ability to mix humor with hard truth. Why it matters. The Trump death hoax may seem like a ridiculous internet blip, but Stewart used it as a case study in the fragility of modern news. In an era where misinformation spreads faster than facts, the line between satire and reality grows ever thinner. For Stewart, the rumor wasn't just about Trump. It was about all of us, our habits, our susceptibility to viral nonsense, and our willingness to share before we think. And it was about how comedy, when wielded by someone like Stewart, can be both a shield against absurdity and a mirror reflecting uncomfortable truths. Stewart's legacy as cultural truth-teller. Stewart's return to The Daily Show in 2025 has reminded audiences of why he became a cultural icon in the first place. He's not just a comedian, he's a truth-teller who uses humor to highlight contradictions and hypocrisies. This latest episode encapsulated what Stewart does best: take a ridiculous premise, like the fake death of Donald Trump, and stretch it into a commentary on politics, media, and the human condition. He has a unique ability to turn laughter into awareness. In a time when the internet blurs fact and fiction daily, Stewart's brand of comedy feels not only refreshing but necessary. Final thoughts. The Trump death hoax may fade as quickly as it exploded, replaced by the next viral rumor. But Jon Stewart's takedown on The Daily Show ensured that it won't be forgotten soon. By framing the absurdity in the context of our collective media habits, Stewart didn't just lampoon Trump or the rumor mill, he lampooned all of us. In the end, Stewart's words echoed Twain's wisdom: yes, the reports of Trump's death were greatly exaggerated. But the reports of our democracy's health, those might not be exaggerated enough.